With retirement plans addressed and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Praising Becky Lynch for her run in WWE, Liv Morgan told Inside the Ropes, "I think if Becky never comes back, I definitely think she is 100% a Hall of Famer. She has become a martyr for women's wrestling and performance all around. She can do it all. She can deliver in the ring, she can deliver on the microphone. The crowd is compelled by her when she's out there, not to mention what she stands for in women's wrestling. Her goal, I think, was to really evolve it and maximize women's wrestling and really make women's wrestling feel just as special and important as the men's wrestling, and she did it all while being a fantastic brand new mummy, but with all that, she's still not as great as me." Revealing why he says "I need a drink" on Raw, general manager of the brand Adam Pearce said this on X.
I just wanted to take the time here to end a lot of speculation out there. You've probably seen this on the internet, and if you haven't, you will. There are many situations on Raw where things potentially go awry or become chaotic or very aggressive, where you may hear me utter the phrase, quote, "I need a drink." And people are always asking, what is it that I'm drinking? And it is time to answer that question. The beverage of choice is water. 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. Your body is approximately 60% made up of this, and the planet we all inhabit, 71% H2O. Water. I need a drink, and so do all of you.
Previously, Batista had said this on Jimmy Kimmel Live about US President-elect Donald Trump. "Fellas, we gotta talk. A lot of men seem to think that Donald Trump is some kind of a tough guy. He's not. I mean, look at him. He wears more makeup than Dolly Parton. He whines like a baby. The guy is afraid of birds. Donald Trump had his daddy pay a doctor to say his little feet hurt so he could dodge the draft. Look at that gut. It's like a garbage bag full of buttermilk. He's afraid that real American men will find out that he's a weak, tubby toddler. What's wrong, tough guy? Did someone grab you by the whiny little..." The Undertaker responded to this on Fox News. "Just so we're very clear, I have no angst against Dave Batista. I haven't seen him, but he's still a good friend of mine, and someone who, if I saw him, I'd give him a big hug. Mick Foley too. I don't care what your politics are. You're wrong, but I still love you." Asked about transitioning to acting in Hollywood, Roman Reigns told Sports Illustrated, "I mean, I think there's a lot of, I've said this before, there's so many tools and skills that I've built and learned along my way in WWE that it would probably be a waste if I didn't somewhat transition and use some of these skills. I don't know if I would want to go to the full extent of Dwayne or even John. Dave is very busy as well. It seems to have a little more balance in the way he conducts his schedule, maybe, but you can tell he wants that. He wants to be that guy too. I want to make good movies. If I'm going to make movies, I want to make really good movies, and I want to be a part of really good stories. I want to work with a really good crew, people, directors and production teams who know what they're doing, people I can learn from. I want to work with other experienced actors. I don't have an ego, so one of my things is I want to be able to work with people who know what they're doing and bring something great to the the table as well, something I can take with me, steal a couple pages from their playbook and we can all make some great money together. But I don't feel the need to oversaturate that or do too much in that space because I'm 39. Who knows? My kids are young, so there's probably going to be a patch of time where I'm going to just kind of where to go. But I plan on taking care of myself, so I'll probably be able to come back and kick someone's ass no matter what. At least play that role anyway, look at it, and then have somebody fall down for me. But yeah, good projects. I definitely would love to be a part of those. During that same interview, Roman Reigns said this regarding his plans for retirement from in-ring action. Well, I guess it depends on what day you ask me and how I'm feeling that day, because the real answer right there, yeah, the body. Sometimes the body feels like a train wreck. I can vividly picture Sheamus hitting me with a chair somewhere over in Europe, you know what I mean? I've done that dance with a lot of guys all over the world year after year. Sometimes, no matter what you do, you just wake up sore and your body hurts. On those days, I'll tell you, man, I think to myself, what's going on here? Is everything good? Maybe we could stop. But then, like you said, there's just so much meat left on the bone. There's so much I'm learning, not only about myself, but about the performance in general, how to manipulate them, how to get better at them, how to control the crowd better, all these different things. There are so many stories left to tell, and with new family members coming in, it's one of those deals where as long as I can, you know how athletes say, as long as you can continue to practice. As long as I feel good enough to practice, then I can play. And as long as I feel good enough to train and keep myself physically in shape to go out there and fall down, because that's the thing, it's the falling down, then I'm good. If we could figure out how to stop falling down and taking bumps, man, we'd bring in the double and just run Hollywood, But there's just something about being out there in the middle of the storm, that simultaneous live reaction. Making movies is very cool, but there's something about having the crowd right there in the palm of your hand that you just can't emulate. You can't duplicate it. That's WWE. Going over an AEW star being pulled from another promotion's events, Ringside News wrote that Ricky Starks is no stranger to making headlines, and this week has been no exception. The AEW star turned heads over the weekend when he appeared at GCW and spoke openly about being frozen out in AEW. However, things took a sharp turn when it was reported that AEW pulled Starks from all his planned GCW appearances, citing controversial remarks made by Effie about Tony Khan's father, Shad Khan. Sources close to Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp revealed that the decision was made internally at AEW on November 26th and communicated to Starks that same day. While details on Effie's alleged comments are still under wraps, the fallout is clearly extended to Starks, whose GCW run is now on hold. The timing of the drama couldn't be more striking. Earlier this year, AEW picked up Starks' contract option, extending his deal into 2025. Meanwhile, during an interview with Chris Van Vliet, Starks addressed his absence from AEW programming, leaving fans wondering about his future with the company. While some within AEW reportedly floated the idea of turning Starks' GCW involvement into an in-storyline work, it was noted that this wasn't the case. As it stands, the move to pull Starks seems rooted in real-life controversy rather than wrestling theatrics. The fallout from AEW pulling Ricky Starks from all future GCW appearances just took a turn as GCW promoter Brett Lauderdale addressed the controversy head-on during the GCW Weekly podcast. Lauderdale didn't hold back, shedding light on the messy situation that has left indie fans scratching their heads. It's a weird situation because Ricky Starks is an independent contractor, Lauderdale began, hitting at the heart of a long-standing debate debate in pro wrestling. Theoretically, an independent contractor is independent and can work wherever they want, but in wrestling, these so-called independent contractors don't seem very independent. They are at the whim of an employer, making it seem like they are employees. The promoter shared his frustration, revealing he found out about Starks' removal at the same time as the public. He also admitted having zero direct communication with AEW, saying, "I've never talked to Tony Khan on the phone or via text in my entire life. Any AEW talent who has worked with us, those arrangements have always been between me and the talent. I assume everything is cleared on their end." Lauderdale addressed the rumor mill swirling around Starks' situation, including Effie's controversial comments about Shad Khan potentially playing a role. However, he admitted he's unsure what's fact or speculation. "I've heard things in many directions," he said. "Without hearing directly from AEW, it's hard to tell what's real, what's not, or what people are just making up. For GCW, the fallout isn't just disappointing, it's disruptive." Lauderdale acknowledged the frustration of having to pull advertised matches, saying, "To promote something and have to pull it back is not ideal, but when you book television or contracted talent, you do it knowing this could happen for any reason at any time. It sucks, but it's part of the deal." The lack of clarity on whether AEW's decision was meant to punish Ricky Starks, GCW, or both has left Lauderdale feeling like he's in the dark. "It doesn't feel great," he admitted. "I'd love to know if there's something we can do. Fans were looking forward to this, and have it fall apart is disappointing. This situation leaves fans with more questions than answers." Brett Lauderdale's remarks shine a light on the challenges indie promotions face when working with contracted talent, and it's clear the fallout from Ricky Starks' removal has shaken things up. As we wait for AEW to address the situation or maybe stay silent, one thing is certain: the drama isn't over. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.